Hello everybody, I'm going to try something different today. I'm going to do a cooking video. I'm making my world famous ground turkey tacos. Yeah, and this is what you need. You need approximately 2.5, 3 pounds ground turkey. Cook it slow, with a lid preferably. Make sure you get that lid parted so the steam can escape. And also, this is how low I cook it. So that's where the setting is. Now if you want, you could turn up a little bit higher. If you don't have the time like I do, you could go about that high, but don't go higher than this. I mean, don't go lower than that. Turkey, you got to cook all the way through. Anyway, once your turkey is cooked all the way through, which takes about a half an hour in the low setting, go ahead and get yourself a cup of water. It can be filtered water or tap water. Put it in your microwave. And set the setting 135. And then turn it on. See that cup spinning around? It's cooking, it's boiling in that microwave. Don't cook it higher than 135. That's enough to boil this cup of water. You could use filtered water or regular tap water, it doesn't really matter. And now this is what I use after I boil the water. I use this as my secret ingredient. See that? Taco seasoning mix, Casa Mamamita, 25% less sodium. You don't want too much sodium, especially when you get older. If you get past a certain age, like 40, you want to cut back because sodium makes you retain water and it makes you swell up, and you're going to have a fat face and a fat body if you eat too much sodium and too much sugar. So you got to cut down on that. Okay, and that means the water's cooked. Now be careful, don't spill no boiling water on yourself. You got water, boiling water here. The packet, I already cut the top off. All you do right now is you dump the contents into the boiling water, just like this. Your cup should be filled approximately maybe 3/4 of a cup. I think I overfilled it a little bit. And you get yourself your freaking teaspoon, just like you're making tea. You see the taco seasoning mix? You stir it in there, just like you're making tea or coffee. You stir it in. It's not, it's pretty much in the water right now. So now what you do, you take the top off the frickin' lid, the lid off the frickin' pan. You put it on a plate so you don't burn yourself. And you take the cup with the taco seasoning stuff in there, and you just pour it on the meat, just like that. You see that? You take your spatula, preferably a metal one, because you don't want to use plastic, it's going to melt in your frickin' pan, and you press down on the turkey meat to get the flavoring in. See what I'm doing? You press it in there. Yeah, I already broke up the meat. You use the spatula, break it up gentle. You don't want no hot water splash on yourself. And it don't have to be perfect. You know, you're making freaking tacos. It don't have to be like fucking Taco Bell. Or some, you know, cantina from Guadalajara. This is American made tacos. I'm using American turkey meat. I'm not using no cat or dog meat. And you make sure you got a plate to put your hot spatula, because you don't want to put it on something that's going to melt. And then, okay, this is how it looks. You get your lid again. Make sure you have a towel on your lid handle because it's hot. And you cook it for an additional about 10 minutes. Okay, prior to me putting the seasoning on there, I cooked it for about 30 minutes at low temperature, just like this, low temperature, 30 minutes. And then after the meat was all cooked, I put the seasoning on there. Now I'm going to cook it for additional 10 minutes. At 6:51, it'll be about 7. And it's a low boil. As you can see, it's a low boil, and the lid is a little bit tilted to let the steam out. And after I'm through, I'm going to use the lid to siphon off the water or whatever is left in there into the frickin' sink as I'm running cold water over it. And you're going to have good taco meat. You can make yourself some really good tacos. And that's my secret. This is my secret to great tacos. Don't tell nobody, but this is it. Healthy too. Turkey meat, and this is 25% less sodium. You can buy this at Aldi. Don't tell nobody. Alright? Very cheap. And you're going to have excellent tacos. You serve these to your family or neighbors, and they're going to think you're the world's greatest chef. Alright. After the meat's all done, you put the lid on all the way. You take it off the heat, put it on a cold spot, put the lid on to keep it warm. Now you want to set up your taco shells. And these are my taco shells. It says large burrito, but you know, a burrito is when you put beans in there, and I don't put no beans, so this is a frickin' taco. It's called Pueblo Lindo. Pueblo Lindo. Flour tortillas, large, 8 count. You get yourself one of these shells. I like the soft shells, and you put a little bit of cheese on there. Just on half the shell. You don't put a whole bunch of cheese because it's not good for you anyway, but you just sprinkle a little bit on the half of the shell. You use your microwave again. You put the frickin' microwave plate with the shell in there. Close the lid. 44 seconds. 44. Okay? And the cheese I either use Colby Jack. You can get this at either Aldi or Walmart, Colby Jack. You know, and I buy a bag of this. It lasts me for a week or two. Or you can get a bag of Happy Farm cheese, mild cheddar, at Aldi, 1 pound bag, and that lasts me about 2 weeks. You know, I don't eat a whole lot of cheese. It's not good for you. And as far as sour cream's concerned, sour cream's really not good for you. So this is what I use instead of sour cream. This is a healthy alternative. It's called plain Super Zero yogurt. See? 0 milk fat, 0 grams of sugar. It has synthetic color, and it's non-fat Greek. 32 ounces, and I get that at Aldi. And I already stirred it, but it tastes just like sour cream. There's no flavor in there. It tastes just like sour cream if you want to use it on your burrito. Get your cheese. See how it's not melted all the way through, but you don't want it all the way through because you're going to put some hot meat on there. Hold on 1 second. Alright, there's your hot taco meat. There's your melted cheese on your tortilla. And then you get your spatula, your metal spatula, not a plastic, because plastic's going to melt, because this stuff is really, really hot. And be really careful. I already strained all the liquid out of here. You could either pour it, be very careful, use the lid, pour it either down the drain while you're running cold water so you don't damage your pipes, or you can dump it in the frickin' toilet if you want, or an old coffee can you can dump the grease, because you're not going to be drinking the grease. You don't need that shit for nothing. So you put your meat on there. It don't have to be perfect. This is like, you know, you want it perfect, it's not going to even look right. You want it in tiny little pieces. You know, you're like some kind of fruit roll up, you can have it in little pieces. You're going to eat it anyway, so this is how I do it. It doesn't fall out of the shell either, because it's in these big chunks. And after you got the meat on there, you can add whatever you want to add. You can add peppers or you know, or sour cream. And I put sour cream, which is, this isn't sour cream, this is actually yogurt, plain yogurt, Super Zero yogurt from Aldi. Tastes just like sour cream, but it's a good healthy alternative. You put just a little bit on there. See? Just a little bit. And that's enough. In fact, that's a little bit too much. And it's very good. I'm not going to film myself eating it, but it's very good. Okay? Alright, good. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. If you have any other ideas how to make tacos, especially turkey tacos or any kind of tacos, leave me a comment and I'll read all my comments. Let me know, and maybe I'll even make a video on it. Alright, take care. Have a good day. Bye.